How long has it been, I wonder? A man in a sewer? A girl with red hair? Memories and thoughts that aren't my own. I'm in over my head. I'm so stretched out it feels like the slightest breeze could topple me. And each time I get close to the truth, something drags me farther away. I feel like I'm so close. All the threads are leading to one place, and yet I haven't stopped to think of what finding it means. I'm on a ride that I have no control over, and that's moving too fast to focus on what's passing me by. If only I could go back and slow down, give myself some time to think. Instead, I keep rushing forward towards the unknown. Before I went to Aokigahara, I thought I had a handle on things. Then Reina showed up and turned it all on its head. My whole life I've thought that if I only connected the dots and contextualized the clues and make everything simpler, it'd all work out. This time I'm not so sure. The only thing left to do is hold on tight and see where I end up. With me is a little wooden mask that so many died for. And now I'm using it myself. It doesn't feel right. It was her pain I felt back in the compound, the focal point to all her misery. I wonder if it's the real Reina I've seen. Or is that girl long gone? No, what I felt in the compound and the misery I feel in the dark are the same. It's her. The mask, Reina, the dark, all tied to the door. Despite everything I'd seen and all the mysteries that had been explained to me, what awaited me there was still unknown. My only chance to see Kazuki again is to go into those filthy tunnels and find it. Only then do I have any hope of using it to change his fate. Something with that much power would have a cost, and I'd be forced to accept it without question. Nothing can ever be the same after today. My chance at a normal life disappeared the minute I took the mask from evidence. Or maybe it would have found its way back to me eventually. Kazuki Tanaka, the man I've suffered so much for, has been silent. Maybe he's not even down there anymore. I've seen what Reina has become as a result of the mask. Would that happen to me? Now that I know the way, is that really what I want? The horrible object was made out of the death of innocent people and fed hundreds of years later with more death. Why continue the cycle? Why shouldn't I destroy it? I suppose that's obvious. Because I'd only be destroying Kazuki and Reina along with it. If I don't act soon, it feels like the world will tear apart at the seams. The dark is creeping in at the seams, affecting people even if they can't see it like I do. I have to do something. Shinjuku and Kamakura, the two places that where my path started, are also where it has to end. This is it. I need to choose. Follow the thread further into the darkness, or attempt to cut it and return to the light. Hello everyone. It has been a long time since I've played this game. Where we left off, I actually had hoped to get some advice from you guys as to what I should do, but I've received none, and I myself have been torn on what to do, which of these choices to choose. Do we attempt to save Kazuki? Or do we destroy the mask? Do we attempt to save Reina? Or maybe we just leave it all behind? I think we have seen too much now to attempt to destroy the mask. And I believe that I was attempting to do everything I could to save Kazuki. So although this may not be the real winning option, I think we go back down to the sewers, use the mask, and save Kazuki. And see what answer, see how the game plays out with that being the choice that I make. So be it. That means that we're traveling to... Is it... I think it's Shinjuku? The awful alley in Shinjuku is where the nightmare began and holds the entrance to the dark. My only chance to find Kazuki is to return there with the mask and find the door. Maybe it's a chance to put an end to all this. Yep. Alright. Let's go there and do it. As tempting as it is to destroy the mask to make sure this never happens again, I don't know if that's the answer that we want. Could we go back to a normal life? Maybe. Maybe the mask would just reform. Maybe the ritual would fail. But I think that for our Ito, we will go to Shinjuku. I'm thinking my choice will be either to save Kazuki or flee and not save him if it turns out he is filled with maggots, similar to how that one story was told to us by the grandmom. While we're here, we might as well visit all the stores and see how things played out for these people. Oh, we can't talk to her again? Alright then. Oh, we can. Uh-oh. Better sound the alarm. The detective is back. Damn it. Every time I come in here, you... Don't sweat, detective. I'm just busting your chops. Besides, it's not my problem anymore. Huh? I'm out of here. Wait. That other job, the sketchy one. You didn't... Nope. Probably won't believe me if I actually took your advice. Probably won't believe me, but I actually took your advice. Well, I hardly believe it myself. How flattering. Didn't think the hardball detective would be so thin-skinned. Yeah. Anyway, where are you headed? Don't know, but I think I'll leave the city. My big dreams kind of got drowned out, and now it's hard to be here and not fall back into old habits. Like hitting the old reset button, right? Reset button, huh? I could use one of those right about now. Things gotten that bad? I don't know yet. Probably. Only way to find out is to keep moving. Anything I can help with? Hey, don't give me that look. I mean it. No bullshit this time. Thanks, but I have to see out the rest of my problems on my own. Then why did you come in here? Couldn't tell you. I guess I've just kind of gotten wrapped up in this place. Sounds like you're the one who needs to leave the city. Bad places lead to bad memories, lead to bad decisions if you ask me. And I'm an expert on bad decisions. At least neither of us will have to deal with Goto or the million other perverts like him. For now, anyway. Good luck. Nah. You hold on to your luck. Looks like you can use it more than me. See you around, Ito. Some good advice. Maybe we take it and leave this place and go instead to, Kamakura. So her advice is reset. That would mean to destroy the mask, go back to a normal life, try to leave this behind us, and reset our detectiveness, I suppose. It's tempting to do that. Empty as always. Even Daizo doesn't seem to mind. Hey, Daizo! You sleeping on the job? You should really turn on some lights in here. I can barely see. Daizo? Though it was quiet as always, this time the silence was unusual. Too complete. Every creaking step I made, every drip of the faucet echoed on the empty walls. The only sound came from lifeless things. Despite the commotion I created approaching him, Daizo didn't react. As soon as I saw the bottle next to him, I knew what he'd done. After Kamakura, I thought of it myself, but always had Kazuki or Lady Fluff to stop me. Daizo had no one, and so took his poison in the silence with nothing to stop him. Nobody had been to his bar to find him, so he quietly went to sleep and never woke up. Behind the bar, neatly folded, was a small note. Carefully, I picked it up and read it. I tried. Summing up my life, that's all I have to show for it. I tried. For years, I pursued a passion. I opened a business. I got married. I did everything people say you're supposed to do to be happy. Still, my passion failed. My business failed. My marriage failed. Everything I was given to be happy, I wasted. So I guess the problem is with me. I'm sorry for the burden that this will put on my wife and my daughter. I doubt my girl remembers me, but I'm sorry I couldn't be a father to her. Know that your father tried. Goodbye. I folded the note as it was and placed it next to him. Who did he expect to read it, I wonder? For a long while I sat at the bar. No one came. Eventually, I went behind the bar to make an anonymous call to the police. I couldn't bear the thought of no one finding him for days. I'm sorry, Daizo. Wherever you are, I hope you're not alone. Oh, that's sad. Wow. This isn't a game with anime characters. It's not supposed to be sad and depressing at the end. He had no one, and we currently have Lady Fluffy to keep Lady Fluff, but maybe we could benefit more from having Kazuki back, assuming Kazuki hasn't changed. Is there any reason to go back in here, I wonder? No, there is not. Oh my god. Like it's you. Huh? Who, me? Yeah, you. Yup. Whoa, can I like give you a hug? Hey, there's no need for that. Please don't touch me. Why so touchy-feely all of a sudden? Detective, sir, ma'am, I would never, like, feel you without your permission. That's not what forget it. Why exactly is it you are in such a good mood? Oh, you noticed, huh? Ta-da! What? I don't get it. Are you a magician? No, I got a promotion. Can't you tell by my new uniform? It's exactly the same. Wait, a promotion? You got the promotion? Yeah, like, after you came in and talked to me, the manager saw us and was like, whoa, this guy's helping the police. Said I was really, respectable and whatever. And I found that key. To the dumpster? Cha, turns out I had a spare in my pocket the whole time. Of course you did. Of course you had a spare. Well, better you than someone like Tyra. Who? No one. Congrats, kid. I think you're really going places. Thank you, sir. At least, sounds like two people might have had a happy ending. Oh, we should look at our spin attributes. It's this button. So we are stable, even at -30. We're professional, we're very meticulous, and we are relaxed. So we didn't fail any of our statistics. That's good to know. So this is probably going to be the choice, everyone. I am really torn between destroying that mask and finding Kazuki. If we destroy the mask, no one can suffer again. We can maybe use the mask to get Kazuki back, but that... I'm worried that the parabel that the old woman told us is actually true. Everyone, I am so torn. So I wish I had my cam on. So what I have in my hand are 2 dice. I'm going to roll them, and if the first one will represent my desire to enter the sewers, it's a black and it's a dark blue and brown dice, and the other one is blue and orange. The dark one, the first one, will, if it rolls higher, will enter the sewer. If the other one rolls higher, we'll go back to Kamakura. First one's a 6. Second one's a 2. Sewer we go. No leaving now. These marks were never meant for me. Reina was trying to find her way back, like leaving breadcrumbs in a forest. Was it the common Kai who put this here? Or maybe the dark created it? Sometimes I wonder if this well went anywhere at all before Reina found it. The first time I came down here, I was so sure that I would save Tanaka alone that I didn't think about what I was doing. Am I doing the same thing now? When I found Kazuki's body, he was wearing the mask. She'd made him wear it as she'd been made to. Even after all the suffering she went through herself, she did it anyway. Can I really forgive her? No, that's a good point. You won't be. Even though she suffered, she's willing to let other people... She suffered a lot, too. But she's making other people suffer as well. I guess I can understand that. When you're put into so much pain by other people, you want them to suffer just as much pain. She so desperately wanted to avoid becoming lost. When I was here last time, I saw Tanaka, heard him call to me. What was it he was trying to say? Was he begging for help? Or begging me to stay away? This time will be different. It's no longer leading to a shapeless tunnel. Reina is down there. I can feel myself being drawn to her. There's a finality about this. The music, the fact that nothing creepy is happening. All of our actions have led us up to this particular point. Let's see what the results will be. What are you going to decide, Tim? I guess we'll get the choice to save Reina or maybe save Tanaka. Tanaka, if the choice comes down to that. Just looking for any more secrets. Oh, if there was a cat down here, I probably missed it a long time ago. I get the feeling we missed some cats. I wonder what they do if you actually collect every single one of them. I thought they would be used by us returning them to Lady Fluffington, or whatever her name was, in order to recover sanity or restore neurosis. But that doesn't seem to be the case at all. My goodness, this whatever's down here is way down here. Who built this tunnel? Like, it looks like it was actually constructed. Like, someone was down here with a work crew. Actually, pipes and what have you down around this area as well. So unless this one was magically created somehow, or there are people who work in construction who are part of the Common Kai or secret cult or something of the sort. This is kind of interesting. I would have expected like a natural-looking cavern here instead if it was just the dark. But I guess the dark has some influence on people in real life. Or maybe one of the people who know about the dark just created this for some reason in order to have access to the door? guess you have a lot of time to think about. Oh, yeah, so the cavern is looking more like a natural cavern now, and less constructed. Yep, we see stalactites. And the walls are now rough. Good. Hey, it's kind of neat. I was just talking about this. We're leaving, I guess, all traces of humanity behind as we approach the dark. As I trudged through that oppressive, lonely place, I slowly became aware of someone else. The dark woke up and began to shudder as if racked with quiet sobs, and I felt a numbing sadness spread through my body. The sensation I felt in that place was familiar, and I knew right away why. Reyna. She sat there like a lost little girl, like she'd been there for a long time and didn't know where to go. There was no fight in her body, no way for her to lash out. In that place, we were equals. She rose to her feet when she saw me, her eyes looking confused and desperate. She was the start of all of it, everything I'd gone through. I'd put an end to it, one way or another. So, you went anyway, huh? Even though I told you to leave me alone. Why couldn't you just forget and leave me alone? Oh, so that's it. You want to keep hurting me, right? I hate to burst your bubble, but if it's revenge you're after, it won't work. Nope. Can't blow my brains out down here. The dark won't let you. Did I hurt your feelings? Did you bring your little gun all the way down here for nothing? Are you disappointed? I didn't bring it. There's no point. I didn't shoot you when you took Tanaka, and I won't now. Ha! Don't try and trick me. That doesn't mean you don't want to. After everything I tried, to think that you would be the one to show up here in the end. Funny, isn't it? Isn't it? After all, you were only supposed to be a guest star on my little show, a little temporary addition to lively things up a bit. Then you kept showing up uninvited, digging up every little sharp thing you can find to poke me with. Now I can't get rid of you. See? It is funny, right? No matter what we do, we're forced together again. We ought to make the best of it. You're right. We can't avoid each other forever. Fate's forced us together, so all we can do is see it through to the end. Even when I saw you in the forest, you were down here, weren't you? Where else? Welcome to the end of the line. I don't understand it. It's awful down here. Why don't you try to get back to the surface? Why would I go back? What would be the point? When I do, I look around and don't even recognize it anymore. The streets are different, the sounds have changed. Everyone I knew and ever cared about is gone. You don't know what it's like. Every day the same, and feeling all my old pain again, and again, and again. People don't change, no matter what. No matter how much time goes by, they all still look at me like I'm a flea-bitten dog to be kicked around and ignored. They hate me. In the end, I'll end up back here anyway, so why fight it? At least down here, nothing changes. When I was little, they said everything would be okay if I had the mask. But then Mommy died, and the police took it away from me, and nothing's gone right since. No one ever cared about me. The police, the foster homes, the other girls in the agency, they all hated me. They all wanted me dead. You're just like the rest of them. Only someday you'll grow old and die, and I'll still be here. Unless you give me that mask. It isn't that simple. Having the mask isn't going to solve your problems. It is that simple! Everyone always tells me it can't be simple, but why not? None of this would have happened if it weren't for you! If you'd just given it to me in the first place, you could have lived your stupid little fantasy life. Instead, you had to be a hero and get involved in something that was none of your business. Why shouldn't I use it? Are my problems not as important as yours? That's it, isn't it? Everything is about you and making your life happy again. I won't let you be happy. I won't. If you won't help me, then fine. But I'll keep hurting you. And if you think it's bad now, you don't know the half of it. Or you could give it to me and go on pretending to be happy while I find the door again. Again? You've seen it before. I don't know exactly what you think is going to happen when you find it. But everything I've found tells me it's dangerous. No, you're wrong. The door isn't for you. The collector said so. He said if I had the mask, I could find it again. He said if I found a shrine belonging to Koana, I could find it. So you met him too. Reina, he wasn't trying to help us. He must have been toying with us. Shut up! You don't know anything. He told me the mask would let me see the door again, just like the day Mommy died. When they put the mask on me, I kept my eyes closed until Mommy told me to. Even when people started getting sick and crying. Then I saw it, the door. Even with my eyes still closed, when I look at it, I heard Mommy's voice. And I knew if I found it, everything would be okay. I opened my eyes and it was gone. They took the mask and I saw Mommy on the ground. She wasn't moving anymore. Like a doll. It was all my fault. It must have been. I did something wrong. But then he told me if I found the mask, I could make it right again. Now I'm being punished for being a big screw-up. For not being pure like they told me to be. Except people like Higashi. They shouldn't have hurt me. They should have left me alone. I had to punish him. I just want to stop them from hurting me. That doesn't make me bad, right? You understand, don't you? The funny thing is that if Tanaka was here, he'd understand. Even after everything you did to him. That's the kind of guy he is. Reina, it's not all your fault. This is beyond you. It always has been. That's why Tanaka was so intent on following you from the start. You weren't just some orphan girl. He somehow saw the darkness that was behind you. If only he'd told me. I could have been there for him, helped him. But no. You could have helped me, Ayami. He was helping me. He was going to save me. Then why, if he was helping you, why hurt him? I didn't want to hurt Tanaka, but it was the only way to bring him here. The same way I was brought here. I thought I'd figured it out. But my white knight abandoned me. Went somewhere else. It turns out it was just another stupid idea from a stupid girl. What you did to Tanaka was wrong. But you can still make this right. You brought him down here with you that night. Where is he? I don't know where he is. Just tell me what happened from the beginning. It's hard to remember. Please try. Nothing's gone the way I thought it would. When I went back to Shinjuku, I remembered how I ended up in the dark. I knew what I had to do so Tanaka could be with me. Only the mask wasn't awake. It wasn't loud like in Kamakura, so I made you come into the tunnel with me and Tanaka so it could wake up. Then I slit his throat and went back to the dark and I waited. Tanaka woke up down there too, but the mask was gone. He was alive. He was like me. Or I thought he was. At first he seemed okay, but then he started wandering around, staring into space and talking to people who weren't there. Poor Tanaka. I think I broke him, Ayami-chan. So he was down here. Tell me where he is! You don't get it, do you? I don't know where he is, and I don't care. Tanaka abandoned me. Even when he was here, he kept mumbling on and on about how he was going to help you. He gave you something, didn't he? That traitor. How else would you be able to keep finding me? He even said he saw the door, but he didn't take me there. I hate him. Why did he leave me? To think Tanaka would help a stupid little girl like me. It was dumb to try and bring him here. And the collector said I'd find the door with the mask. I just didn't want to be alone is all. Now you're here, so I guess the mask is too. I didn't need him after all. He's gone. You're wrong. I can feel him someone here. He's waiting for me. You can? Maybe he's at the door. Please, take me there. Don't leave me. The mask opened the dark and took me straight to Reina. And now that I'm here, I can feel it, pulsing like a heartbeat. The door. The unknowable place where chance and fate have no importance. That's where Kazuki is. I know now what will happen if I lead her there. She'll get what she truly wants. She'll get to rest and finally be free. No more pain. No more suffering. Maybe that's what Kazuki would have wanted. But if I do that, the dark would change shape again, and any hope of finding him would be lost. He'd be trapped here, waiting for me, and I'd never be able to tell him the truth behind everything he suffered for. That's if the Kazuki Tanaka that's left here is the same man I love. Either way, I have to abandon someone, but it's my responsibility. I have to choose. Leave Reina and save Tanaka. I don't know if I'm a good person or not. At least if I could find Tanaka, I can do something to help for once. One good thing. What are you saying? I can't save you, Reina, but maybe I can save him. So you'll leave me here after all. I'm sorry, Reina. You can't! Tanaka said you'd help me! He believed me! You have to believe me too! Help me, please! He wanted you to help me! That's why he led you here! Maybe he did. Or maybe he was scared like we all are. I couldn't say. Either way, if I don't try to help him, then what was all this for? Why did I suffer like this? Someday, I hope you find your answers. I don't want you to suffer, really, but Tanaka doesn't have a chance if I don't go find him now. Goodbye, Reina. Wait! Ayami! I was right about you! I was right! You don't care about me! Ayami. Ayami. Please don't leave me here. Please. Oh, wow, that's so sad. It reminds me of the ending of Soma. I did all there was to do. I walked away from her and didn't look back, though I could feel her eyes on me. The light was affected by her misery, and I knew that leaving her there would be deeper shadows. It was too late to atone for what I did to her, and someday I knew I'd come face to face. Someday I knew I'd come face to face punishment for it. I truly wanted to help her, but I couldn't ignore Kazuki's presence within that darkness. Kazuki, he's so close. Up and down, shadow and light. There's nothing here to orient myself. All I can do is stumble forward. I can still feel the door, but there's something else alongside it. Kazuki, I can't hear him or see him, but he's there, like a memory coming to my head all on its own. Yet I can't see the door or anything else through this darkness. What if I'm trapped down here forever? Lost like Reina and Tanaka? No, there's a way. The only way to pierce this darkness on my own. But I'm scared to do it. A tool forged in blood and bending my mind to its breaking point has become my last chance to move forward. The historian said the mask bearer could see the door. But I'm not the mask bearer. If I wear it, I would have to accept the consequences. Touching it alone almost drove me mad. What strain would wearing it put on my mind? Or I could turn back, try to find the surface, and keep what little of my sanity I have left. The choice is simple: to turn the light or descend deeper into darkness. I said a long time ago, whatever it takes. We broke into the evidence logger for this mask. I've wielded my gun for this mask. We have done our best to find out as much about it as we possibly could. We will use the mask. Oh, and we have a choice. This is the only option I've got, apparently, anyway. Something's changed. Memories of my childhood, feelings I had, my sense of self, ripped out of me as I entered, fading. I have to focus while I'm still me. There's someone else here. Kazuki, is it you? Stay put. I'll find you. Tanaka? Tanaka? Kazuki, is that you? Kazuki, say something. You can hear me, right? What if Reina was right? What if he's already gone? Oh God. Kazuki, please. Who? Ito? Ayami? Why are you here? That doesn't matter. All that matters is I heard you, and I'm here now. I can't believe it. Is it really you? What's wrong? I'm sorry. It's strange. I feel light. The memories are coming back. I'm sorry. I need a little time. I think I remember. Ayami, how are you here? You shouldn't be here. No, I probably shouldn't, but I came for you. The way I got here, I remember it now. Ayami, she didn't. No, I came here on my own, but I had to leave her in the dark. I'm sorry. It was selfish, but it was the only way to find you. That poor thing. I'm sorry to put you through all that. It must have been hard on you. Ayami, I can't remember clearly. I have to know what happened that night in the sewer. Why were you there? You know why I was there. I was looking for you. But it was a trap, and I fell right into it. Maybe you think I'm a fool, but I was desperate. There she was, a girl I'd shot before, and you so helpless with a bag over your head. My head was swimming. I didn't know what to do. I couldn't shoot her, so I watched as she slit your throat. I let you die. I doubt I could have done better in your shoes. What's wrong? Is it true? Is what true? That you went with her willingly? That you gave her the mask? Kazuki, I have to know. Did you know what would happen? It's true, but not how you say. I saw her, a girl surrounded by an impossible darkness who I'd obsessed over before her death, and she was alive somehow, still wanting my help. So I went with her. I thought I found the truth, real truth, the kind of truth that tells us why we're here. I didn't tell you because I convinced myself that it would protect you. Faced with the impossible, I dived straight in without thinking of anyone else or what consequences would be. Now that we're here in this place, I don't think I have it in me. Maybe I should be, but then I'd have to take the long, hard look in the mirror. Over the last few weeks, I've been grasping at straws in a world I didn't understand, that I didn't even know existed. All because Rena shattered everything I thought I knew. Step by step, I went after her, trying to figure out how some poor girl could be the focal point of everything that didn't make sense in my life. In my mind, and my mind raced when I saw her alive that night. Suddenly, the doors of possibility opened wide, and my world was no longer in my control. Then she slit your throat as I watched and did nothing. I couldn't accept that you were gone, and I couldn't sit around and wait for the puzzle to solve itself. Why? This Kazuki saying this? I think this is a mistake. We didn't solve it, did we? All those formless shapes aren't any more solid now. No, but maybe that wasn't the point. What do you mean? Maybe we're not meant to know what it all means. Yet here we are, trying to change something that can't be changed. The mask and a shape-shifting darkness, they were made by people who wanted control over the unknown. People like us who were confronted with a mystery they had to solve. Fate and chance, life and death, the march of time. Having control over them is an illusion. When I stand here with you, I understand that now. Guess that makes us lousy detectives, huh? Heh. Were we ever that good to begin with? I got myself kidnapped and you were dumb enough to follow me. Thanks, Ayami. All those mysteries suddenly pale in comparison to the thought of having another day in your drafty apartment. Yeah. It was you who called me, wasn't it? That night in the sewer. I don't remember. Everything since then is hazy. I wandered aimlessly. I was so tired and my body was so heavy. I started hearing other voices and seeing shapes in the darkness. Formless things that felt like people I desperately wanted to see, telling me everything would be alright if I kept moving towards them. People I haven't seen in a long time. One day I saw my mother. She told me she missed me and to keep walking through the door and beyond. Did I ever tell you about my mother? She died when you were 15. She couldn't have been here. Still, I heard her like I can hear you now. Kazuki, what have we gotten ourselves into? I don't know, but I'm glad we're in it together. We made a hell of a team, didn't we? Found each other into each other's messes. What I'm trying to say is, Kazuki, are you okay? I'm fine. Don't worry about me. How about you? It's nothing serious. That's never happened before. It must be reacting to you. Ayami, thank you for finding me, but you can't stay here. What are you saying? Neither can you. That's why I'm here, right? Thank you for coming for me. It makes me happy to see you. Happier than you know. I love you. Stop talking like that. You can save it for when we're back. Ayami, stop. I'm saying it because I never have another chance. I may never have another chance. When I finally arrived at the door, I felt a warmth. Something told me if I kept walking, all the pain and uncertainty I felt would go away. Then why didn't you? Because I was waiting for you. Somehow I knew you were coming for me, and I wanted to see you and have one last self-centered moment. Last, no, stop saying that. You're the one who isn't supposed to be here. Can't you see that? It wasn't supposed to turn out this way. Tell me why you can't come back with me. Why I'm sorry. I feel a little dizzy. When I was lost in the dark, every time I moved forward, a piece of me was left in my footsteps, and all I could feel was fear, until I reached the door and everything faded away. Ever since you've arrived, I've remembered who I was. All my happiness and joy, but my suffering and doubt as well. If I kept walking away from the door, maybe I'd forget it for good. All those things that make us human can't be here. If you stay, you'll fade away, Ayami. So many people told me that being with you was a mistake and that I should find some normal girl to settle down with. But the normal girls don't understand me. They didn't make me better. I chose right. I wouldn't be who I am without you. But you would be nothing if you stayed here. Kazuki, no, there has to be a way. You said it yourself, this place is beyond our control. So you're giving up? After all this suffering, after everything I went through? That's not the man I love. That's this place. Ayami, I want nothing more to come back with you, but I know if I leave, I won't be whole. The longer you stay here, the more it will destroy who you are. You have to turn back. Maybe he's right. Maybe this is the end of the road. I guess Reina was right after all. This place changed you. At least for now, I can talk to you, see you again, and tell you that I tried. There isn't much time. I can feel myself being torn apart. Please don't give me a 20-second timer. Returning to the surface is the only chance I have of saving myself. Oh, wow. So it's really tough for me, everyone. I'm choking up. This girl, what she's been saying, and Kazuki, reminds me of Liz and I. Liz was an ex I had over a decade ago. A girl from Laotian. And she was amazing. And Ito's attitude. Reminds me of her, and how she would really fight for me. And Kazuki reminds me of me telling her to save herself and sacrificing some of the things I wanted for her. Okay. having a moment. Okay. If Kazuki's right, and we bring him home, but he loses himself, that would be very bitter, because the person Ito loves would be gone. And now I'm sad because it reminds me of when I had my stroke. I couldn't talk, I couldn't move. I know it'd be a burden. It would be miserable for someone to take care of me that way. And that was because the stroke was on the left side of my brain. If it was on the right, I might not have recognized my family. I might have become a very different person for a little while before I recovered. I wouldn't want anyone to have to deal with that sort of thing. I don't think Ito would leave him and save herself. This is Halloween. This isn't supposed to be sad. This isn't supposed to be sad. I'm not supposed to be choking up and trying not to cry. Okay. We'll roll dice for staying together or bringing him home. First dice, stay together. A 4. Bring him home. A 3. Kazuki, I won't leave you. You have to. You can't take me back, and the only way for you to get back is to the surface is to go. And now, I'm sorry. That's not what I meant. Ayami, don't be stupid. Stupid. Every day since Reyna sent you here, the dark has been seeping into my existence and drawing me towards it. So I followed its pull, and when I did, I heard you call to me. Then everything fell apart. I was kicked off the police force. My friends abandoned me. I couldn't even keep track of what was real. So I chose to run towards the dark and everything I feared most, despite every instinct telling me not to find you. Ayami. When I chose to go through the door, I gave up a piece of myself. I feel like the only reason I remember what I am is because you're here with me. And now that I'm standing here, I'm not afraid anymore. Ayami, you have to understand, I haven't been able to talk, to remember myself for a long time. If we stay here, this won't be our reality. We'll both fade to nothing. Everyone has to face death, Kazuki. Before, when you said you wanted to forget the world above, I was hurt. But I think I understand it now. Every day I lifted my feet and trudged onward, not really knowing why, but now that we're together, I get it. We've suffered enough, Tanaka. I want to be with you, so let's forget the world together. You can't expect me to let me throw your life away. I won't let you. And you won't let me. Since when have you been able to stop me? This is different. What exactly do you think you're saving me from? My life is unraveled. Half of our friends think I killed you. The only thing that would be left for me is a mental hospital or prison. No, that's no way to live. My mind's made up. Stubborn as always, huh? Of course. Wouldn't be me if I wasn't. Can't argue with you there. To be honest, part of me wanted this. It's selfish, I know. But I was scared. Once I passed through the door, I didn't want to continue, even though every bone in my body told me to. But fear always held me back. I'm sorry, Ayami, for leading you here, for everything. If that was your idea of leading me, you didn't do a very good job. No, Kazuki. I came here myself, and I don't regret a second of it, even if it didn't turn out like we'd hoped. And as terrible as the last few weeks are, we saw something, part of the mystery that everyone desperately wishes to see. Now we get to go to the next step. Wherever that is, together, knowing for certain there's more to it. Guess that makes us some of the lucky ones. You're really not scared? A little. No, that's wrong. I am. A lot. I'm really scared. But I'm not scared of this place. Just what I don't know. There's still a chance for you to turn back. I wonder what I gave up already by coming down here. Reyna, that poor girl. Her mind was broken by trying to reconcile that world and this one. I can't return only to become lost for the rest of my life. So what now? It's easy, really. We start walking. Here, take my hand. Promise not to let go? I promise. Well, Tanaka, we've really gotten ourselves in the deep end now, huh? Let's find out what happens next. Together. So we did the only thing there was to do. We walked forward, hand in hand. As the door gets farther away, so do my memories of that world beyond it. Faces and places that I saw so recently feel like a lifetime ago. No one knows what happens next, but at least we're together. Interesting. Most interesting. You're nothing but a crow, feeding on the carrion that time leaves in its wake. Huh. Forgive me for not being an impartial spectator of human suffering. The woman had her own desires. I only gave her a little push. Ha! And what did your push lead to? Oblivion in the darkness with what was left of that poor man. Ah, but is it not noble? Her desires led her to chase after him. For love or for the truth? Perhaps it was out of some sense of noble obligation. It doesn't matter. What are those left behind? And at what cost was her peace granted? Time is not a single thread, but a complex tapestry, pushed and formed into a picture by the forces of fate and chance. The different threads present a myriad of truths, but all an aspect of the same visage nonetheless. A myriad. Interesting. I would have thought one so interested in history would adhere to a single truth. On the contrary, if history has taught me anything, it's that there is no one truth. The deeper one gazes, the more complex it becomes. Ah, yes, all are truth, all granted insight into the same puzzle. You're right, my old friend. Time is a spiral, and observe it long enough, and we may yet learn something. No, she is not your plaything. It is not your decision. There is only one way this can end, one way for the world to remain intact and stop the thing that's coming. It must be protected. The role must be performed. Stubborn, so stubborn. Allow me to ask you a question. I believe I know it already. You've asked it before. Indulge me. I asked her the same question. If the dancing puppet looks up and sees its strings, does it remain a puppet? What of fate and chance, then? I answer your riddle with one of my own. You see storm clouds approaching, and though you can take shelter or alter your course, does a storm not come regardless? Pah, no fun. You've never tolerated my philosophical side. Nor you me when I tell you how things are. I suppose that's because we are one and the same. But what of her? All we can do is see. But eventually, she will end up there. There is only one path which will hold the world together. Interesting. So we didn't choose the correct ending. Or rather, that was not the ending that is the, I suppose, official ending of how this works. Alright, and we have New Game Plus, but I think this was a good enough game that we should not do New Game Plus. I don't know how different the game will be, actually, if we do play it. So I think we will stop this episode here. I'll thank you guys for watching. And the next episode will be me reviewing the game. We will probably hit New Game Plus, and I'll do some things on screen, but it's going to be me talking about the game and giving it a review. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in that review, assuming you guys are around to watch that one. Sorry for for being me and in this episode, and I will see you all in the next one. Take care, everyone.